Frank Ragnow of your Detroit Lions. You are now tuning into the official new hotness, the One Pride podcast presented by ISN. This is your source for all Detroit Lions news, rumors, pre- and post-game day breakdowns. Go Lions.
What is going on, YouTube? And welcome to the One Pride Podcast. We talk all things Detroit Lions. News, rumors, analysis, breakdown, and everything regarding our franchise. And in this live stream, hey, we're going to have a great time talking about the team. Because guess what, folks? 14 days away. 14. Yes, we're almost there. It's the NFL Draft, and that's where we finally get to see this team built. We have Mark Orm from Orm's Forum in the building. What's going on, Mark?
What's going on, everybody out there in the chat? What's going on with the panel, man? Let's go OPP in the building. Let's talk some Lions ball.
No doubt about it. That's that's hashtag Facts on Facts. We got Antonio Hightower. What's going on, Tone?
What's up, guys? It's fun to be on here with you guys today.
His introductions are the longest and most motivated introductions of all time. No doubt about it. Folks, we have a special guest on here. This is a subscriber, Cy Gray. Now, Cy Gray is a veteran who served his country honorably. So everybody in the chat say thank you for his service. He's a huge Lions fan. We're going to get at it. We have a good time. What's going on, Cy?
Hey, salute. Thank you for having me on. Looking forward to it. Let's go Lions, baby.
Let's go. That One Pride. Now, before we get into it, we got to say, what's up to Matthew Huntley? What's going on, Sheldon McCreary? We also have Infinite Sports Network in the building. They're a great group. Lion Fan 951, Big West Kniven. I destroyed your name. The Carolina guy, Bryce, Alan, Dana. We got, who else in here? Oh, John Kapler, Mike Taft, Michigan Santa. I love your avatar. I know it's you. Tokyo Rockstar, Demetrius Wilcloff, and Linda Brennan. If I miss your name, don't hate on me for that, folks, because it's simply I missed it, and I'll have to shout you out. We already got a super chat. We just started the show. Travis Doyley, he says, thank you for your service to Cy, and I'm sure he's very thankful that you did that, Cy.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And we everybody in here definitely is appreciative of that, and that's what it's all about. Folks, finally, the NFL Draft. Mark Orm from Orm's Forum. Are you ready for this?
I've been ready. Yeah, man, I've been ready for a long time, man. This is like, hey, this is the Detroit Lions Super Bowl pretty much, man. And unfortunately, over the past, I don't know, since I was a young lad, and you know what I mean? I'm just ready to talk some about who we're going to draft the day of. I can't wait for the day of, man. So I'm ready to go, man, and talk some draft, man. I'm ready for the draft immediately. Let's go.
Mike Taft, it looks like he's a veteran as well. He was a medic in 1970 to 72. Yeah. Thank you for your service. Absolutely. God bless you. My father was in Vietnam 2 tours, and that was a hard era to go through. No doubt about it. So thank you for your service. Antonio Hightower, what are you looking forward to in this draft? What is one thing you want to see immediately from the Detroit Lions?
Hello?
Yeah, hello. I hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm also ready for the NFL draft. Mostly ready for the Lions to draft Kyle Pitts. You know, it's going to be the pick. And I'm ready for the outrage, too, of the Lions fans. You know, people ain't gonna like the fact the Lions took 3 tight ends in the top 10. That's 3, right? And that would be 4 in the first. Ooh.
Hey, we need to draft a tight end in the first round every single year, Tone.
Oh, I don't know about every year. Let's just Kyle Pitts every year, then I'll be cool with it.
We have another super chat from John Kapler. Thank you so much. He says, we will pick up more Mo Hurst. He's been released by the Raiders. Go Lions. Mo Hurst.
Come home, baby.
I see those hands.
Come on home, baby.
That's right, yeah.
About it,
I don't think we can get him.
Talk about it right now.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, one of the more underappreciated defensive tackles in the game. Slipped in the draft. I guess he had a heart condition, but like I say, man, Maurice Hurst, love it. Come on home, baby. Prayers up.
We need defensive tackle there, Mark Orm from Orm's Forum. What do you think about Mo Hurst?
I think he'd be a pretty good addition. I know he had some injuries last year. He's got some get up though, man. The kid can get to the quarterback. Like Cy alluded to as well. He had some heart conditions back in the day, man. Slipped in the draft. I thought he was a really good football player coming out of college. So it'd be nice. We need defensive tackle help. Why not? He'd probably be pretty cheap, but I'm not sure if he'd come back home. Let's give him a call though. See what's up.
Give him a call because John Gruden gave him a call, but it was that one to get out of the house. It was the last call. Antonio Hightower, what say you? Mo Hurst.
I like to have him. He's been pretty decent for the Raiders. I don't think we're gonna be able to get him though, because I mean, in terms of waiver wire, I think the Jags are gonna probably scoop him up since they're number one on the waiver wire. They need D tackle talent. I think there's probably a few teams that's probably gonna get us before us, but he'd be a pretty solid addition. He's been a pretty decent pass rusher for the Raiders, who already can't rush the passers. So I have no idea why they let him go. But, I don't question that. I try not to figure out what bad organizations do. But yeah, he'd be a pretty decent addition for us, but I doubt we get him.
We got Marcus Santrail. He says, love the podcast. Currently in the Middle East in the Navy. 1:35 a.m. tuning in. Well, thank you so much for serving your country right now, Marcus. You are the true MVP. I remember that. I worked third shift when I was in Iraq, and during the day it's so hot. So when you're at night, it's the time for you to get out there. But God bless you. Prayers sent. Stay safe. And that's what it's all about. What it is all about, though, as well, is we got 63 people in the building with only 19 thumbs up. How is that possible, folks? Let's get those thumbs up. It's vital to bring the video out, or in this case, the stream, via YouTube algorithm, and it's free. That's how you support the channel, and that's what it's all about. Everybody's saying here, God bless you, sir, for your service. Look at all this. Go Navy. We got a lot of people supporting our veterans here and service members. We appreciate all you folks. If you got questions, we have answers. We can just do the mailbag segment right freaking now. You guys are going to run the show. That's very early. Yeah. But guess what? We want to hear from you. It's all about interaction. We got people from all over the spectrum here, and we want to get answers that we feel that you need to have, because you guys are the real MVP. Says MicroMike, 30 thumbs up. The Obsessed Lions fan up in here, Justin May, the rapper. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for your channel. I am from Delaware, where maybe 2 or 3 fans in the small state. Well, that sucks. So that really does suck. That really does suck. Cy, we talked about Kyle Pitts. Well, at least Antonio Hightower did. Would you take Kyle Pitts if he fell Lions with the 7th pick in the draft?
To be honest with you, absolutely. I've never been a fan. If you go back and look at the history of the game and you look at the impact that the tight end position has had on the football field, while you could say they've definitely made some impact, they're never the most historic tight ends. They generally aren't drafted in the first round. There's a couple of exceptions. So with our Lions in our recent history, I was honestly against drafting Hockenson that high, although there's been a nice return on it. I have to say that. But with Brandon Pettigrew and the other kid we took from North Carolina, escaping my name,
Ebron.
Eric Ebron. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was horrible with all the receivers that were on the board at that time. Right. So, but here with Pitts, I truly believe the man transcends the position. You can line him up anywhere. He's a super slot. You can line him up out wide, and you can also put him in line, H-back position. He could do it all. So with the size ratio, that combination, and a truly natural catcher of the ball, I'm all in on it. I'm all in on it because it's more than just a tight end. So yeah, I give him the thumbs up.
We got Demetrius. He served in the Air Force as well. Thank you for your service, everyone. Well, thank you for serving your country, sir. You are the real MVP. When it comes to the tight end position, my philosophy is you draft the best player available, no matter what of position. And if he is the last blue chipper on there, because I think there's just a handful of blue chippers, you got to really consider that. Mark Orem from Orem's Forum. What do you think about taking Kyle Pitts? Say that Jamar Chase is gone. You got Penei Sewell gone. Are you going to take the tight end / offensive weapon / big guy that can grab everything?
I guess it all depends too, what they want to do with that pick, right? I just, you guys know I'm still a big fan of Micah Parsons out of Penn State. But if they could trade down, maybe let's try to get out of that spot. I'm not a big fan of drafting a tight end or a wide receiver, or I'm not a big fan of drafting a tight end and hoping that he becomes some type of wide receiver for you, because I just don't think a guy he is a stud. No word of a lie. I'm not denying his talent or anything like that, but it's just drafting a guy with a team that we have so many holes to fill. It's just that he's going to be a guy that's going to get you maybe 5-6 catches a game, hopefully more in a game, but you don't really know, right? So it's like, is he going to be that big of a difference? I know he looks like he's some kind of once in a generation type talent, but I just don't like him at 7. If we could trade back and maybe get a couple picks and maybe possibly get him at a few picks down, maybe, but not at 7. I'm not feeling it at 7. Not this year.
Folks, you've seen what the panel said, but I want to hear from you. Do you take Kyle Pitts if he's sitting at 7? Why for yes and for no? Spam this comment section. Hey, it's not just us thinking about this stuff. It's you. But while that goes on, we do have a question from Matthew Huntley. #GoLions. Mike called it last year. So who is your guess? Not wish. Who do we take? Who do you want in the first round? Who do I want? I want Penei Sewell out of Oregon. I want to have that dominant offensive line because we need to pound the football, and I think that he's such a phenomenal player. It really elevate not just the offense, but, folks, it elevates the defense because you're doing long, sustained drives. I've been preaching this for a long time. If you could do long, sustained drives, it gives your defense, the big guys, the rest that they need. And here is the answers. We got why. We got no, heck yeah, no thanks.
That's a lot of no's.
That's a lot of no's. That's a lot to the no.
I want to know why people say no, though, because I have a few reasons why I think people say no. I have a few reasons why I think people say no. And if it's one of the certain ones, I have a really big argument against that one. But I just want to know why people say no.
They have their reasons. They have their reasons.
That's probably well. It's got to be one of them. Has got to be because yes, we have drafted 3 tight ends in the first round.
Yeah.
I think we're the only team to do that in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's got to be one of the. That's not particularly the reason for me, but that's probably one of the reasons, man.
There's one I already knew was gonna come up because we need defense, and my argument against that would be: so are you willing to take a worse talent because you have a bigger need? Which the Lions aren't gonna be that good this year, maybe not even be that great next year. Correct. Lions gonna have a lot of cap space. Lions gonna have a lot of draft capital. Defense can still be solved later. So are you gonna take a worse position? Are you gonna take a worse player because he fits a position of need that you can fill at a later date? Or are you going to take the better player and figure it out?
If I allow me, in supporting what Tone is saying, the way I always look at it, why would you not draft the number 1 player at his position and settle for the 3rd or 4th best player at their position? Stemming back to one of the drafts that we had, we took the 4th tackle on the board. This was the right tackle we had forever. I can't even recall his name, about 10 years ago.
Riley Reef?
Not Riley Reef, before him.
Backus?
He had a funky name. I forget, but he was like the 4th best tackle on the board, and the number 1 receiver was there. Not Tomlinson. We're talking 10, 15 years ago. Man, I had it in my head the other day. But anyway, back to what Taylor was saying, I agree with him 100%. Yeah. I get the history of the Lions in the tight end position, and we haven't had a lot of fruit come off of those trees. But again, we're talking about the number 1 tight end versus the 2nd or 3rd, best player at the next position outside of Parsons. But I think if you get Parsons at 7, I think that's overdrafting him, especially with all the character concerns.
And I definitely think you could get a Parsons by trading back. I think he's going to be available if you trade back. That's if there's a trade available. I don't know about everyone out there, but I think trade back scenario seems to be the best option for me.
Yeah.
Only got 6 draft picks.
Yeah,
I think no doubt. That is just a given, folks. So out there, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily mean there's an option for that. But we got a $5 super chat from Travis Doyley. He says, "Would you be mad if the Lions draft the cornerback Patrick Surtain?" If the Lions draft a cornerback, I would be a little bit upset about it.
At
I
7?
would be very upset
At 7? Oh, boy.
There are cornerbacks I would like to get, but not Surtain.
Really?
I think
Because I can
Lions
get like
have more
fairly,
needs.
I can get fairly like late first, early second,
Right.
and he's more talented.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's subjective.
we got a lot of young corners right now on this roster. Mani Awarie and obviously Jeffrey Okuda. And I think you got to develop these guys as well at some point. And if you're consistently drafting a cornerback with that first pick, yeah, it may work out. But golly, you got to be able to utilize the young talent that's currently on the roster. So that would be my complaint about that for sure. No doubt about it. I want to see, like, if we're going to draft a guy on defense, to me, let's trade back a little bit since it's offensive heavy. Let's get a Micah Parsons. I think he'd be good. Or if you trade back a little bit, Jeremiah Wusu-Karamoa, get that linebacker position filled if you wanted to go that route. But what do you guys think? What position do you want to take with that first pick? Linebacker, safety I see in there, cornerback, offensive line. Want to hear from tight end. Goster Sherless.
Sherless. Correct.
Yes.
Goster Sherless. That's who it is. Okay.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. I was so mad when we picked him up.
What school did he go to again?
I think LSU.
Was it LSU? Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I can't remember either.
Yes,
he shouldn't have been drafted at that point. You know, he was like the fourth stack on the board.
I definitely got to make a piss video now.
So we got.
I was already thinking about it, but I got to do it now.
They got O-line in here, linebacker, O-line, linebacker, wide receiver. So pretty much almost the same positions here. Linebacker, offensive line, wide receiver. 90 in the chat with 35 thumbs up. Let's get those thumbs up to 5-0. Let's get those thumbs up to 5-0. Trade back with teams, folks. Let's talk about this. What team, Mark, would you like to trade back with if a trade could work? Denver at 9. Would you like to go back a little bit to go to 15 with the New England Patriots, 19 with Washington, 20 with the Bears? What would be your ideal trade back, and what do you want out of it?
I think the ideal for me, I would like to trade back just a couple spots, but as far as going the farther I would like to go is only to New England at 15. I don't really want to go past New England at 15. I don't want to drop that far, because if I'm going to drop that far, man, I'm going to want the world back. And whoever's trading up if New England is coming up to 7, I'm asking them for the world. You know what I mean? Because they're obviously going to try to get, I don't know who they want at 7. Maybe Mac Jones, maybe Justin Fields if he drops that far. So that's about as far as I would like to go. It is about 15. Ideally, maybe 9, but 15 is the farthest I would go. But I'm asking for the world, man, to trade back and whoever wants to come up, man.
You talk about going to 9, you're basically getting the same person anyways.
Pretty much,
7 to 9, because you know they're taking a quarterback, and that's pretty much it. Cy, what say you, man? What's an ideal trade team target? What's the farthest you'd go back? And say if you went to a 19 or 20, what would you want out of it?
Well, honestly, I think the most realistic scenario is trading back to 19 with Washington, considering their state. If Justin Fields or one of the quarterbacks fall to the 7th spot, they have a history in Washington of giving up their entire future for a quarterback. If you look at what they auctioned off to get RG3, and then they drafted a quarterback controversy with the kid out of Michigan State. But I would like to do that. And what I think is fair draft compensation, we could easily get another first for next year out of Washington, and possibly, a 3rd or a 4th, because right now we're depleted with our draft stock. So personally, I think that's a realistic expectation, and I think we could probably, not swindle them, but I think they would be desperate enough if one of the young quarterbacks could fall down to number 7. That's what I say.
I concur with your sentiment. I think the Washington football team would be an ideal spot, and you could acquire next year's first-round draft pick. And that would give the Lions 3 first-round draft picks next year, and guess what? It worked out fairly well for the Miami Dolphins, and I think that is a good way to really build this roster out, is via the draft. And if you can have 3 first-round draft picks next year, You own the draft. You
Own
can
it.
pretty much do whatever you want to do. You can go up, you can go down, you can go left, you can go right. You can make the decisions there. Antonio Hightower, for you, you're an out the bubble type of guy when it comes to thinking. What would be ideal situation for you if you want to trade back? Go back to 9, again, 15, 13, 19. What say you?
Ideal for me would be 9 because I'd pray that Pitts could fall to us at 9 and we probably still get a good deal. Realistically though, I have questions about who would really trade up because I think last year really showed us like even if a team likes a quarterback, that don't mean they're going to trade up for him because there's a lot of people say, oh yeah, we like Tua. Some people say they like Tua more than Burrow. The Lions are like, y'all want to trade up? And it's like, nah, we good. Which state we at? We okay. We're okay. Because then most likely 3 quarterbacks are going in the first 3 picks. Falcons.
Yeah, it's guaranteed.
Yep, it's guaranteed. Falcons might move back. Now it's like, oh, does Lance fall to us? And how does team view Lance? Some teams really like guys like Kellen Mond, so they go like, you know what? I can wait later and still get my guy. Maybe some team like Kyle Trask. I don't know why they like Trask, but maybe somebody do. Realistically, because I think a lot of people want to trade him with the Patriots, but the Patriots historically aren't a team that trades up. Historically, they're a team that trades back, if anything.
What about the Dallas Cowboys? Because they do like covet Pitts. What if Pitts fell to 7?
If the Cowboys call me up for Pitts, they got to give me at least 2 first. For me to move up for Pitts, they got to give me at least 2 first. Yeah. I'm like, hey, listen, Jerry, Pitts could be the one to take you to the Super Bowl, man. You know, this slot of these 2 first, they're not gonna matter. You're gonna have a Super Bowl win. Because if he wants Pitts from us, oh yeah, he got to slot me some real draft capital.
You know what I'd say? Hey, do me a favor after you screwed us with that official picking up the flag, Jera. We know he was on your party bus.
Yeah.
We should have won that game. Sure. We should have won that game. Yeah, to me, I think we definitely could trade back. And it's all going to be predicated what happens with the Atlanta Falcons. This is a big deal, what happens with Atlanta. With San Francisco. If San Francisco takes Mac Jones, that pretty much guarantees us we're having a blue chipper that falls to the Detroit Lions. Or there's going to be a quarterback there. Because if they take Mac Jones, which would be great, you still have the board Trey Lance, Justin Fields, you have Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, and you have Penei Sewell. That's 5 players. One of those players is definitely going to be available with that 7th pick. If it's quarterback, maybe a team will trade back. If it's not, if it's a Kyle Pitts, a team may want it. And if we can't trade back, there's a blue chipper right there. So we all got to root for Mac Jones, who to go number 3. It'll be predicated to how this draft works, and it really will. You know, if a quarterback does fall to the Lions at the 7th pick, we can receive a lot of asset allocation from somebody wanting to get a quarterback. So I think that's vital for our Detroit Lions to do so. Here's a question from Tim Monroe. Would you trade back twice out of the first round? Will you trade back twice or trade out of the first round? Twice, yes. Out of the first round to the no. I want a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, I'm not going to trade out of the first. That's a little tough, man. That's tough right there.
I trade out of the first if the deal is good enough. I think most of our positions needs could be filled in the second. Especially there's going to be a lot of great value later in this draft. Even in the 4th round, it's going to be a lot of great value. It's going to be a lot of talented O tackles and edge rushers and corners that fall just because of the top talent on the board. Okay. So I trade out because I can still get a first-round talent. I will most likely get a first-round talent in the second. I trade out depending on who's on the board, though. Like if we trade back to like 17, let's say we trade back to like the mid of the draft or like early 20s, and like Parsons is there. It's like, we can't pass up on him.
Yeah.
So I think it really would depend on the board, but I would be willing to trade out the first round just because how much talent is going to fall down the board.
Mark Orm from Orm's Forum, I saw your hand raised. What do you got to say, man?
We got to remember, too, with Brad Holmes, back when he was with LA, man, he's used to not drafting in the first round.
Absolutely.
So like now they're going on year 5 over there, and he was part of the draft. I think Les Snead, the GM of LA, he gave the reins pretty much to Brad Holmes maybe about 5-6 years ago, saying, take care of this draft. I want you to be my guy, man, to take care of the draft. So he's really used to not drafting in the first round. So it could be he could fall out of the first round if he wants to, because I guarantee you he feels comfortable doing it.
If we fall out of the first round, I want to see massive capital haul.
100%.
I'm talking.
Yes.
I'm wanting to see a bunch of seconds. I want a first next year. Like I'm wanting a haul.
Yeah, I'm just giving a scenario.
What would you trade out of the first round?
I would do it. Pretty much like everyone else said. I mean, if the price is right, and just looking at the board, depending on, there's always someone who slides into the second round. So it just really depends. Like you said, we have to get a lot of capital back. But if, say, for instance, you can still get a top flight tackle in the early second. So it just depends on where we trade at. One of the Cosmes, or my favorite player is Tevin Jenkins. I like him at right tackle. If he were to fall, and if he was falling, even Farley, I know we don't really want or need the cornerback position, but just imagine Awarie, Okuda, and that guy Caleb Farley. It just would be a nasty secondary. So yeah, I would do it. It just depends on the price.
Hey, there we go, folks. We got a question. Do you think there's any chance the Lions draft a quarterback, and who would you want if they did? Cy, do you think the Lions going to take a quarterback, and if they did take one, the big position, who do you think they would take?
So a couple of schools of thought here, and bear with me, but I think if one of the big four fell to us at 7, I'm just not a fan of drafting quarterback controversies. If we're committed to Goff in the near future, and even if we have the opportunity to draft, say, a quarterback at 7, then immediately that puts a lot of pressure on Goff, and he goes from being comfortable back to uncomfortable because he's looking over his shoulder. So now, yeah, I would draft a developmental quarterback, somewhere in the 4th round. If Mills would fall that far, or Amon, yeah, sure, why not? We could do it. But as far as at number 7, absolutely not. I think we need to ride out. We've committed to Goff. Let's see what the guys got. It's not a good quarterback draft next year, so I think we got a couple of years to wait on the quarterback position.
And that's I totally get it for sure, no doubt about it. And I do think they are committed. I think a lot of this stuff is smoke when it comes to the quarterback position at 7, no doubt about it. They're just trying to get the best that they can, but you never know just because of Brad Holmes, and that's vital. I made a video about how it's vital not to know. Unlike last regime, you kind of knew who they're going to pick. You want to keep people on their toes. That's vital. Mark Orm from Orm's Forum. When it comes to this quarterback position, do you think the Lions would take a quarterback and help out, or they could take like someone else? But what do you think, Mark?
I'm kind of feeling what Cy said. Why draft a quarterback right now when you just, you traded for Goff? I know it had a lot to do with the contract, but apparently they asked for Goff in return. Right? But still, in my heart, I think everybody kind of feels the same thing, that he was kind of, I don't want to call Goff a throw-in, but we got those 2 firsts and a third because we took on a lot of that contract. And but why draft for a quarterback controversy? Like, why? He's only 26, Goff. You know what I mean? And besides, I wouldn't want to draft a rookie, and I would not want him to be thrown to these wide receivers that we have going out there right now. We don't have a good wide receiving core, man. And if anybody thinks we do, you better go look up those stats, man, because they are not good. That wide receiving core scares the heck out of me, and I wouldn't want a rookie to be throwing to that right now. Not right now. And there's no point in drafting a quarterback and having him sit behind Goff and then causing a stir, because Lions fans will be all over this, and they will pressure. I'm not saying they're going to pressure Dan Campbell into making a move, but it's just they will be calling for Goff's head. And there's just no point doing that right now. We're not at that point. We need to fill up some positions before we do something like that. So no on quarterback. And again.
The truth is this, and again, anybody that says they know exactly what's going to happen in this draft and they knew they're going to take, they're full of it. Right now, nobody knows what's taking place. And that's the truth, folks. That's the absolute truth. So if they're telling you they're a prophet and they know what's going on, that's not true.
I don't know what they're talking about.
It's not true. We got a question here. Would you draft Shaun Wade now at safety in the 3rd or 4th? Antonio Hightower.
Not even a chance. What do you even consider him? Nope, not a nope. Anybody watch the college football national championship game?
Yeah, that was scary. That was ugly.
Yeah. If you want to know who Devonta Smith was giving all that work to, it was by a man by the name of Shaun Wade, and from before the game, I think he was like, "I'm ready for the challenge." He wasn't ready for the challenge at all, man. The man was putting up historic numbers in the first half. Yeah. He's not that good as an outside. He wasn't that good as an outside corner.
Wasn't he hurt though, Tone? Wasn't he hurt a little bit? I'm not trying. Wasn't Shaun Wade hurt in that national championship game, or no? He was just coming back. He might have been, but still, yeah.
He might have. Last year's outside corner wasn't good. Even when he was a slot corner, he wasn't that good. I don't see the point of getting him, especially when it's gonna be a lot of really talented corners that fall in his draft. And Shaun Wade, even though Shaun Wade's listed as a safety, but he played corner in college. I doubt a team is gonna just move him all the way to safety.
Right.
I just wouldn't draft him because if he was like super talented, maybe, but he's not super talented, and it's gonna be a lot of actual talented corners that fall in the draft. I just wouldn't do it.
Mina Ashido, never seen you here before. Welcome to this podcast. We do this every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. EST next Thursday, but the following Thursday, it is the live NFL draft on my channel. It's going to be a great freaking time. Sponsored by Newsbreak. Make sure you guys follow me on Newsbreak. It's Lions Talk by Chat Sports. Lions Talk by Chat Sports. I got videos on there. That's not on here. Also, hit that like button. We got 130 in the chat with 51 likes. Let's get to 75. Do you think we could draft 2 linebackers? If so, which 2? I do think it's possible. That's how bad our linebacking core is. And if they doubled up on linebacking core, I would be perfectly fine with it. And how I would see it is they would take – I think the Lions are going to take a linebacker with the first 2 picks. I don't know what order. They could do like a Micah Parsons, but I think with the first 2 picks, linebacker will be addressed. You could, again, get like a Xavier Collins if fell the 2nd round, Jabril Cox, something like that. But I think they could take another linebacker like in the 5th round or possibly in the 4th round. We got 2 third rounds. I think it's possible. Last year I said they'll take 2 offensive linemen back-to-back. They did so. I think it's very possible they do that because if you look at all the positions that was addressed in free agency, linebacking core was not addressed as other positions were. Yeah, we did get a linebacker. Yeah, we signed Jalen Reeves-Maybin. But come on, folks. That is a position of weakness. Sai, what do you think? Do you think it's possible the Detroit Lions could double up on that position?
Absolutely. In fact, I'd be happy if we did it. The Jelani Tavai thing, I never got. They don't even play defense at the University of Hawaii, and we got a Hawaii, one of their guys to play linebacker. So I never understood that to begin with. But yeah, if a realistic combination, if we trade it back, Xavier Collins, filling the Mike position, depending on our defense, and somebody like Monty Rice, you don't want to duplicate it, get the same type of linebacker, 2 different types of linebacker. Absolutely. I'm with it. I'm all over it. I'd be very, very happy.
Armac, that's a funny comment. And actually, I wish I could tell you a story about my boss. She gave something to her dog to make the dog calm, and I thought that was hilarious at work. Big joke, but great comment. Calm Guy dropping a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Colin. I think that's Goku too, Calm Guy. Maybe I'm off. We should draft a generational wide receiver at 7. Look, I think best player available at the position. if I don't know, I think that you could get a wide receiver in the second, the third rounds. I think it's very, very good depth at this position, no doubt about it, even the fourth round. With that said, if they take a wide receiver, they take a wide receiver. But I would like to go offensive line first. That's kind of the order I want if a Penei Sewell, even Rashawn Slater. I'm looking at linebacker a little bit, but they very well could take a wide receiver, a Jamar Chase if he fell. Antonio Hightower, what do you think about that? If the Lions take a wide receiver at 7, say if Jamar Chase is there, are you going to be upset about it?
Unless they consider Kyle Pitts a wide receiver, then I would be very upset about it. I mean,
you can't get him out of here, man. He lives in your head, rent free, bro.
I know, man. My God.
I mean, I like Waddle. Hey, Pitts is a special dude. I mean, I like Waddle, but I don't think the Lions will really take advantage of his skill set. The Lions really need Waddle really needs a team that's going to move him around, that's going to throw screens and attack him deep, kind of like what the Chiefs do with Tyreek Hill. And I don't know if the Lions are going to do that. You know, I like Smith, but I don't like him at 7. And I like Chase, but I don't really love him at 7. So unless they consider Kyle Pitts a wide receiver, then I don't want a wide receiver at 7.
Yeah, I do like Collins, Cox, and as well. I also like Nick Bolton, Steven. I think Nick Bolton would be a nice. We did a mock draft yesterday. Nick Bolton, I think, fell in the 3rd round.
He was falling. Yeah, that was really strange. I thought that was strange that he fell that far.
Mark Orem, what's your thoughts on Mosley from Alabama?
I like him, man. He's a good linebacker. I wouldn't mind someone like that. He's had some injury history at Alabama, though. But he could be a guy that could possibly go in the 2nd round. Maybe I don't hear much talk about him. I know he's got a lot of talent. It'd be a guy that I would definitely take a look at in the 2nd round. 1st round, no. 2nd round, I would definitely take a look at him for sure.
Bolton and Cox double down. If they got Bolton and Cox, I think our position of weakness just became a position of strength. That would be difficult because I don't really think Bolton's going to fall into the 3rd round in the real draft. Antonio Hightower, you just made a sound.
No, Hightower? That would be a pretty all right linebacker core. Hello? Yep, I was saying, that'd be a pretty all right linebacker core. But if I had to choose between Cox and, I'd probably get Monty Rice later. Probably be a better coverage linebacker. But I like Bolton. I kind of like Bolton a little bit more than Parsons. But, I like Bolton. I wouldn't choose him. Yeah, but I like Bolton. I would prefer like a guy like Monty Rice. I forget this other guy. There's another linebacker. I forget his name. I'll tell you it later. I'd probably there's gonna be a lot of super athletic linebackers that fall in the draft too. There's also a guy from Michigan. Forget his name. Really big linebacker thumper, Mike. You could probably get him like super late if you're really that desperate for a Mike. Because at the end of the day, because at the end of the day,
I did him in my mock draft.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you don't really. It's not. There's no position that you have to fill this year. You still have next year's draft. You're still gonna have next year's free agency, right? So the Lions have time. So the Lions shouldn't just focus on positions. It should be I like this guy, but he's a position that we need. Then I understand that. But it's like, we don't really like this guy, but he fills the position we need. I'm not kind of with that mindset, especially not this year.
And folks, when it comes to my drafts, I guess you're just drafting Michigan homers. I want to let you know I'm not a Michigan fan. I am an Oregon Duck fan. I'm not from Michigan. I was born in Oregon. I live in Michigan now, but I am an Oregon Duck fan, so that's the team that I represent in college. Got my Duck jersey, like LeGarrette Blount, like Crosby, of course, Penei Sewell. Do you think we get? Hey, I like my Ducks, man. I am a little bit of a homer for them, but I'm a little bit biased there. Do you think we get Fields at 7? My answer, Jack, is no. I don't think that I think it's a smokescreen. I do personally think it's a smokescreen. Even though Fields I think he's a lot better than what people give him credit for. He's better than Mac Jones. Come on now, that's a ridiculous statement there. But Cy, do you think we get Justin Fields?
So let's kind of work through that, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a worst case scenario for me. So if we have the option to select Fields and none of the guys that we really want are left on the board and he's the one, let's say if we don't have a viable dance partner to trade back with. So at that point, what do we do? Again, I'm not a fan of drafting a quarterback controversy. It's definitely a no for me. But at that point, considering who he is and his value, that would put us in a tough spot. So I know I'm kind of on the fence about it. I say no. Idealistically, we need to trade back. We definitely don't need to draft Justin Fields, but if we have no dance partner, because that's not a guarantee that somebody's going to be willing to trade up for us. Maybe. I don't know. What's your take?
The thing is if to me, if they got Justin Fields, I think he's a great prospect, and no doubt about it. With that said, I feel like they brought in Jared Goff. Like if you watch the Inside the Den, they really wanted to get Jared Goff. Like they're really excited for him.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't, and Brad Holmes drafted this guy. So to me, it doesn't seem logical that they would want to really get under his skin. He's already got a chip on his shoulder. He already, you could tell he came here. He's the starter, and if you do that, I'm sure they told him he's the guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it kind of contradicts itself. And to me, if they did draft a quarterback, they'd be with the concept of trading Jared Goff. To me, it'd have to be because I don't know, Mark. What do you think?
About drafting Fields at 7?
Yeah, in the situation if they did that with Jared Goff. I
don't like the idea of it. Like we talked about earlier, I just don't like the idea of having that controversy right now. I would ideally like to trade back, and somebody would want him. And like you said too, Mike, I think it's a smokescreen. I think San Francisco's taking him at 3. I really do. I just have that feeling. I think the Mac Jones thing is. I don't know, man. I think it's getting overblown. That Shanahan, it's the Shanahan type of quarterback. Like he's had some other quarterbacks that have been like less athletic before. So, and he's has some success. So Kirk Cousins comes to mind. Like you know what I mean. And Garoppolo, and they're saying Mac Jones has got that. Like he's not the most athletic guy. So he is a Shanahan type guy. So I don't want to draft a quarterback at 7, and I don't want Justin Fields, man. So I would try to trade back and see who would bite for sure.
Sai, see your hand raised.
Yeah. So, and more to what Mark was saying, while I do really believe it's a smokescreen, Justin Fields went to their camp. That's one of their homegrown. The Shanahans. He's the first notable quarterback to go through their camp. So I don't buy that they're not going to draft him instead of drafting Mac Jones. But back to it being at number 7, if he does fall, the answer is definitely a no. It's not idealistic. That's all I wanted to add.
I'd just be looking to trade. I'd be looking to trade back. There's got to be a team. Justin Fields has talent. If they don't take him at 3, he's better than Mac Jones. A team would like to trade up. Antonio Hightower, you're about to speak.
So this is kind of a weird scenario. Like if Sai said, if we were like, let's say it was like Sai said when he said if there was no trade back, right? Let's say Lions stuck at 7, can't trade back. Would I take him? It's really hard because as much as I like Pitts, Fields is a better value. Now I understand there's the idea of, well, Goff might be looking behind his back, but at the end of the day, if the Lions take Fields at 7, that means they view Goff as not their QB of the future anyway.
Absolutely, it does.
So in the end, Goff looking behind his back doesn't matter that much. And if Goff is looking behind his back, and then like he folds under that pressure, if anything, that tells you all you need to know about Goff. As that would probably tell you maybe he really isn't our quarterback, right? We put a little controversy in front of his face, and he can't handle it, and all of a sudden he crumbled under the pressure. They say pressure builds diamonds, and if you crumble under listen, at the NFL, your job is never safe. You always got to worry about the person behind you. So if the person behind you is worrying you to a point that you get, if the person behind you is worrying to the point that you just perform worse, maybe you're not really meant for the NFL like that. But it would be tough because as much as I like Fields, I like Pitts more, but Fields feels a better position. I mean, he feels a position of need and he feels a position of more value. Plus, he's also very talented. If we're forced in a scenario where we have no trade back partner, I'd probably take him. But if he's there and I can trade back, I'm easily trading back.
Folks, we got 168 in the building. Let's get those thumbs up to 100. Hey, it's free. All you got to do is click that thumbs up. It helps spread the word. We are going against the legacy media. I don't know if you know this, but they do not like our team. They do not like our city. They do not like what we are about. They only talk about the Cowboys, the Washington's football teams, all the teams in LA. They hated number 9 when he was here. Now they love him. So let's get those thumbs up and get this video out. Hopefully we trade down and we get late second for Javon Holland. I'd love to get Javon Holland. You know this. Yeah. Safety out of Ducks. Go Ducks. We got Holland there. That's what's up. He said, oh, my God, we got some more Ducks in here. ISN for Mike. If you like the Ducks, you should want to draft Waddle. I want to get a Duck, not because they torched us. I want to get a Duck because then I have a dual jersey. See, I can have dual jerseys. It's cheaper that way. Hashtag ISN. Panthers get Mac Jones to secure Darnold. That would be hilarious. I don't think they're going quarterback though at all.
I don't think so either.
No.
Let's see here. Everybody, what do you think of Jameis Winston? I think he'll do fine over there. I actually think he will be perfectly fine. I think he's going to surprise people. Actually, please smash. Oh no!
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got a troll in the building.
No.
Troll on.
Hashtag ISN. Panthers get again. Okay, it was again. Please draft Eaton. What is going on with this guy?
That guy's being an idiot.
Okay,
Someone take care of him.
Okay. What chance Jared Goff surprises the heck out of us? I don't think it would be that much of a surprise. If you look at Jared Goff, when he had a running game, I think what was he 15-1? When they actually could get over 100 yards or something ridiculous like that. So if we can actually finally have a running game, it wouldn't shock me at all. It would not shock me, Cy. What do you think?
I think it's realistic. Like you said, if you put him in a position to win, I think he's a little bit. I think he's above a game manager. I wouldn't like to. I don't view him as that. But he's also a kid who needs to be loved. I mean, you have to surround him with the talent. And if you look at those Rams teams, my God, they had everything. Every position was covered. So they had a great chance. And to be honest with you, looking at what we're doing in Detroit, I mean, especially just looking at the coaching staff and some of where they came from, winning organizations, I think we're going to have a great chance at getting Goff behind center, giving him some love, giving him a little bit of that affection he needs. And I think we have a great chance, man. I think we're off to a great start. So I'm looking forward to it.
Now, if you're asking who is Cy, I've never seen this man before. He is an awesome Detroit Lions fan, but more importantly, and definitely the best part about him is he is a veteran that served his country honorably. So if you want to show him some love, say thank you for his service. And we love that stuff here, man. That's what we're all about. And Antonio Hightower is going to basic training here soon, so he will be one of them wearing that uniform. So we thank you for your service. Hashtag Eminem, no doubt, representing Detroit all the time. We got what's up, everyone. Love the show. Appreciate you, Josh Jackson. We got Detroit Rage. What's up, Detroit Rage? Take Kyle Pitts. He's Megatron Jr. Well, that must be Antonio Hightower's
burner account.
His second account, because he loves this guy. Okay, we go. Any late round edge jumps out to you guys? Edge rushers, Steven Leakins. What do you think about edge rushers, Mark Armstrong? What's some late round guys?
Yeah, there's a couple guys. Target? There's definitely a couple guys. There's Weaver from Pitt. I really like him. There's Basham. There's Carlos Basham Jr. Those type of guys. You can get a Russo if he drops. I know a lot of guys do do not like him. I'm a fan of his. I think he's pretty good. If he drops in a second, you can take a look at definitely Gregory Rousseau. Quincy Roche, I think he'll be playing more of a linebacking role in the NFL, but he'll definitely be a guy that's going to rush the quarterback. There's a ton of guys, man. There's some guys in the second, third round that we will be able to get to rush the quarterback for sure.
And remember, we only got draft picks to the 5th round. Currently, we don't have 6th or 7th round picks unless that changes. So if we don't get more of those picks, our draft ends at the 5th round, and so that would be our late round pick. #ISN, would you guys think the Lions move up to draft Penei Sewell instead of a quarterback? I don't think we're going to need to move up to get him, though. I do think, this is what I think, the Bengals are going to take Jamar Chase. That's my thoughts. I think they're going to pair him up with his former quarterback, the LSU guys. That's what I think, Cy.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's looking like. I understand Joe Burrow is pounding the table for his teammate, but from an organizational standpoint, you can't. I mean, you want to make your quarterback happy, obviously, but the guy's coming off an injury. He needs O-line help. He needs some tackle help. Why not take a generational talent at tackle versus? I'm not going to say Chase is a run-of-the-mill wide receiver, but what's more pressing and what's going to help your organization more, the wide receiver or the tackle? So, I don't think it'll be a smart thing, but if that were to occur, why not? Let them fall to Detroit. I'll take them.
Eric says, hey, guys, what do y'all think about picking Dwayne Eskridge, wide receiver, Texas A&M, in the 3rd, in Tony Hightower?
In the 3rd is a little too rich for me, especially in the 3rd. Because in the 4th, I think I'd probably get a guy like Tamarian Terry from Florida State. I could probably get some guys like Seth Williams. I don't know how draft boards have Jalen Darden, how they have him right now. We have to see how guys like De'Ami Brown go. I think that guy might go in the 2nd, but we got to see how the NFL views him. And the 3rd is a little too rich for me. I think there's going to be a lot of really talented receivers that fall to the 4th. And in the 3rd, I'd probably be looking more at edge, because that's probably about the point where edge talent, after the 3rd, is when the edge is really talent is going to really drop off, like huge drop off. So the 3rd is a little too rich for me.
Carolina guy, let me know what Jones you're talking about, and I'll try to answer that question. But I appreciate you supporting the show. #ISN, on average, Goff snaps the ball with 25 seconds left in the play clock. How are we going to keep our defense off the field if they're going back in after 55 seconds after 3 and out? Well, that requires you to run the football. That's the thing. We got to pound the football. We did not get Swift to stand there. We did not sign Williams to stand there. So what we need to do is run that football to make sure that you can do long, sustained drives. And if he needs to do a short pass for 7 yards, TJ Hawkinson's a big body to do it. He can wreck the middle and help that out. But more predicated on the running game than Jared Goff. We're so used to in Detroit to focus on quarterback play that we've forgotten what really helps us win and helps defenses out, and that's running the football. So hopefully, if we can do that finally, then we're not going to be off the field in 55 seconds, a 3-and-out drive. We can actually stay on the field with a more consistent drive. Preseason would be nice. Yes, it would. We're going to have 3 preseason games.
3 games.
3 games, not 4 anymore. #ISN, I saw Tutu Atwell is moving up in mock drafts. Guys on ESPN were talking about that. Cy, what do you think about him moving up? There's a couple guys moving up. He is one of those guys. What do you think about him moving up?
Well, I hadn't looked at a whole lot of tape on Tutu Atwell. I mean, when you say moving up in mock drafts, how far are you talking about moving up? I think it's, again, he's sort of lumped in with the cluster of receivers, sort of, 3rd roundish type talents. I'm looking at personally somebody like Nico Collins. That's not a homer pick, but I think a lot of people are sleeping on him, and his inability to separate at the top of routes. I get that, but when you're 6'4", 220 pounds, that's the person that I'm really eyeballing for us at, maybe 3rd, 4th round, depending on where he slides. But Tutu Atwell, I can't speak to him so much, but I'm wondering where they're kind of looking at him going.
Okay, so he was talking about Mac Jones. Are you talking about the Carolina Panthers? Who do you think they take? I think they probably take a look. If Rashawn Slater's there, I think it'd be a good idea to protect their young quarterback, or if Penei Sewell's there, protect the young quarterback. If somehow a wide receiver slips a little bit, get him a weapon. But I think protecting the quarterback may be key for Darnold. He's been injured a little bit last year, beat up, so protect him a little bit. I think that'd be good for Carolina Panthers to do so. Let's see here. If I miss your question, folks, just repost it. It's not that I'm ignoring it. It's just because I missed it. And we're close to 100 likes, 18 to go. Let's get those likes up, 171 in the chat. Hashtag ISN. You see Mel has us reaching 3 rounds early. Yeah, I seen that, to take defensive end Malcolm Kuntz in the second. I seen that. I seen that. What do you think about that, Mark? If you've seen that mock draft, he had us taking Malcolm Kuntz in the second round. I thought that was a reach as well.
Yeah, I think that's a big reach as well, man. I don't really know too much about Malcolm Kuntz, to tell you the truth. I haven't done a lot of study on him. So us taking him in the second round, no, I'm not feeling that right now. No.
Chris, I want to know something. Do you want Mac Jones as your quarterback for the 49ers? I'm 100% curious here as a Lions fan. I think it would be as a fan, I think that would be a mistake. But as a Lions fan, I want him to take it. But as a 49ers fan, I think you should go Justin Fields or Trey Lance. Who is your favorite player on the roster? My favorite player is DeAndre Swift. I love DeAndre Swift. Cy, what about you?
I'm with you 100% on that one, Mike. DeAndre is my guy.
He's my guy, too, man. I love that guy. I love that pick, man. I said the Lions are going to get DeAndre Swift, and I got mocked by everybody when I did a mock draft. And then they picked DeAndre Swift because I like his shiftiness in between the tackles as well. And Tony Hightower, who's your favorite player on this team?
That's tough because for me, it's probably between Hockenson and Ragnow.
Ragnow's a beast.
Man, I might have to choose. I got to choose Ragnow, man. The dude is so tough. Didn't he play last year? I forget what injury it was. It was like it was something serious, like later in the year. I forget what injury it was. It was like
it was something to do with his eyes or something.
Yeah, like
something was really. It was really bad.
Injury.
It was serious. Yeah,
real bad. Ragnow was like, you know what? I'm gonna go out there anyway. It still played well. The man is a monster. Arguably the best center in the league, and if he's not, he's definitely moving up that list every single year. Man is just a monster.
And if you see the intro, he says, "Go to the One Pride podcast for your Lions news and rumors."
That's him, man. Yeah.
Can you believe the Cincinnati Bengals thought that Ragnow and Billy Price were on the same level? It didn't work out well for them.
Didn't work out too well for them, but what did work out is we got a $10 super chat from David Webster. He says, any trade that happens, I can't capital for next year and year after no opt-outs, real scouting continuity, not the year for 8-11 picks, the time to go straight stacks next year. That is a draft strategy because we have people that opted out. Do you think that this is somewhat of a strategy by Brad Holmes? It's a little bit harder to evaluate the talent because there's opt-outs. So let me stack for next year when I know the talent's on the field, Mark.
Yeah, like there's all kinds of different ways it could be done, right? I don't know what they're going to be doing. So this is one way of doing it, I guess. It sets up for next year's draft, but we don't really know what they're going to be doing, right? So this is just all guesswork right now.
Yeah, that's an interesting. What say you? Are you more worried about the people that opted out drafting them compared to people that did play?
Yeah, I think it does give me a little pause in the case of we're looking at some of it right now. You don't know exactly what you're getting. And like we did last night's show, I think what people opting out that had more time to work on like combine specific things. So as a result of that, you're seeing these super fast 40 times all over the place. So again, like the guy Owe from Penn State, I don't think he had a single sack. So you got all this speed, but there's no productivity. So a year removed from football, if you look at free agents when they hold out and then they come back, there's a lot of injury involved, and they seem to lose a step. So yeah, I think it's something to be concerned about, and I think that's the right approach. What David Webster said.
Hey, David Webster, appreciate you for that super chat. No doubt about it. You're an MVP. Tone, I know you want to say something.
I think from a scouting perspective, it's going to be harder to evaluate guys because it's going to go like, oh, well, I wonder how Michael Parsons would look last year because I was like, oh, we want to see him get better in such and such aspects. Well, he wasn't there. Oh, Caleb Farr, you want to see how he looks in such and such aspects? Well, he wasn't there. So you're really basing it off of about a year ago, the tape, which is just going to be tough. I think this year is probably going to be this year and last year in terms of scouting. Is probably going to be the hardest it's been for the NFL in at least some time, because but I think it really does affect them. I know some people are upset about the people who opted out. Like some people's like, oh, well, why didn't you opt out? I mean, why did you opt out? You could be on the field. Some people it was injury concerns. Some people it was a business decision because at the end of the day, football is a business. You got to do what's best for you. Some guys went out there, like a guy like Marvin Wilson. Last year, he was going to be what, a top 15 pick, top 20 pick, most likely if he came out this year. Probably might not even be a third round pick this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was
a lot of changes in 1 year.
I covet. I really like Marvin Wilson. Do you believe the Lions can go 11-6? Anything's possible. With that said, my expectations are much lower for the Detroit Lions record this year. I think it's going to take another year for this team to get better. What's your prediction, Si? What do you think the Lions could do this year?
Yeah, I'm tempering my expectations. There's a lot of moving new pieces in the building. I'm not as down as the national media seems to be on the Lions. They're saying we're like 32, 31 in the power rankings. But I could see us, pulling out 6 or 7 wins. But, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. 6, 7 wins. I think that's a realistic expectation.
Mac Jones, so he doesn't mind what quarterback goes there. Hey, he's got a lot of confidences in his coach, and guess what? His coach is pretty good. Phillips over Parsons' talent isn't even close. Interesting, Mark. You are a big Parsons guy.
I don't think so. I think that's insane. I think Micah Parsons is a top 10 talent, and he's top 10 prospect in this draft. I like Jalen Phillips. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're even in the same ballpark talent wise. I really don't, man. I think with Parsons, man, he's not going to come off the field. Phillips is gonna be good. He should be good, but I don't see him being better than Micah Parsons at this point right now.
Smash that like button, folks. 13 away from one hundo from 3 digits. 13 away. Let's get those likes up. Detroit Rage. He says, Mike, you and I both know the longevity of this regime will not see the fruition of hoarding of capital. I hope that's an incorrect statement. I do think that you're going to see they'll give obviously 3 years. They better look next year. They got to improve from this year and then continue to improve. We'll see. Hopefully that's incorrect. Hopefully we finally got the right regime. I want to see wins. Everyone wants to see this team get out of the basement. JT's Massive Purpose just dropped a $5 super ticket. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And, hey, all the support, appreciate it, all of it. He says, love you guys. Listen every time from Arizona. Well, it's got to be pretty nice in Arizona, no doubt about it. TA from Noble Sports, who understands talent evaluation, regardless of what thinks. I think he's one of the better in this business and Noble Sports Entertainment. Make sure you subscribe to him. Who should we move back with? We talked about this, JT, a little bit earlier, but we'll talk about it again. I think, for me personally, I think that you could see the Washington football team. I think Cy was with that as well. But you can ultimately look at the Denver Broncos, the Dallas Cowboys, the New England Patriots. Those could be the guys the Lions could move back with just because obvious quarterback need, except for the Dallas Cowboys, who likes Kyle Pitts. And when Jared likes somebody, he goes after it. Just ask Williams, our old wide receiver. We sent him over there for a first-round draft pick. So,
and again,
Jerry got to give me like 3 firsts.
Well, and I think that would be. I like your take on that because imagine if they get Kyle Pitts into that offense with that team. Well, their first round draft picks are going to be, probably 30 to 32. I mean, I think they have a very realistic, strong chance of, you know, finishing well in the NFC. So, yeah, why not? I would ask for 3 firsts, because they're going to be poor picks. So, back half of the draft. So, I think that's fine.
And
John
I just hit up
we will try Thursday if you want to get on the show next week Thursday. Let me know if that's good for you. Go ahead, Tone.
I was gonna say, just go to Jerry, whisper in his ear, like, Super Bowl. Just imagine this team Super Bowl. You want it. Jerry kind of delusional. You could probably get 3 firsts out of Jerry. Tell Jerry, hey man, if Jerry believes Kyle Pitts is a Super Bowl away from us, I think Jerry give us 3 firsts for him.
Marcus has a great question. Which player do you think makes the biggest improvement with new coordinators' scheme? I'm going to say Jeffrey Okudah. I think he's going to make a bigger bounce in this upcoming year. The scheme was terrible. He actually has an off season now. He's not injured, and he's got speed. He's got everything, and I think he's going to make a big improvement. Mark Orem, who do you think is going to make a big jump?
I think make a big jump. I'm going to say Romeo Okwara. I think he's going to be even better this year. I don't think the guy's just a flash in the pan. Like a lot of Lions fans said that this guy was just a one-year wonder, but completely forget about 2018 where he actually played pretty well. When they first picked him up as a Detroit Lion, he had like 6.5 sacks. It wasn't bad. You know what I mean? Played pretty well. Probably the best D lineman on the team at the time. And then 2019 fell off. 2020, he had that year, and then he got paid. But I think with a new scheme and new players around him, hopefully, I think he can be better this year. I think he can be.
JT's Massive Purpose just dropped another super sticker for $3. Thank you so much, sir, and I really appreciate your support. It means a lot. It truly, truly does. Big D73, sorry, late to the show. Wife and I were out celebrating our son Thaddeus graduating Army basic training today.
Nice.
Fort Benning, Georgia. First off, that's a tough place to go for basic training. We'll go back and watch the missed one. Well, guess what? That's way more important than this show. Congratulations on your son completing basic combat training. In Fort Benning, Georgia, I was at Fort Knox. So that's that's a tough one to go to. So we appreciate you coming on, and again, thank you for his service. Do you think there's a chance if Atlanta takes Kyle Pitts at 4 that Justin Fields and Trey Lance will be there at 7? I do think so. It just depends on if Mac Jones gets taken 3. If Mac Jones gets taken 3, yes, I think it's extremely probable that one of those guys would be available with the 7th pick mark.
If that happens, I'm crying tears of sadness.
Oh, man, you're addicted. You are addicted to Kyle Pitts. What makes you want Kyle Pitts over everybody else?
Well, I was going to do a video about this, but, originally I didn't even want Kyle Pitts. Somebody asked like a few months ago, they was like, you want Kyle Pitts? I immediately said, nope, don't want him. And then, you just watched it, say, he was like, man, this guy moves so well, da-da-da-da-da. Do you see him at? Do you see he got reps at outside receiver, as an outside receiver, beating guys like Patrick Surtain. But the one thing that really changed it for me is I was reading something that PFF said, and PFF was talking about they got this thing called PFF WAR, wins over replacement, and they was talking about how Travis Kelce has a higher WAR than all tight ends and all but 3 wide receivers, and that kind of changed in my mind. I was thinking the question went from how good is Kyle Pitts to what is the value of a tight end in the modern NFL? And then in that point, I was realizing because a lot of the time, and a lot of tight ends in the modern NFL play wide receiver. Hawkinson played more of a wide receiver in his first 2 years than as a tight end. He plays tight end a lot, but like around 55% of the time, he's either outside wide receiver or a slot. Kelce on like passing downs, over 20% of the time, he's the outside wide receiver. So it's guys like Mark Andrews, Mark Gesicki. A lot of time, like tight ends now are kind of just like big wide receivers, bigger versatile wide receivers. And I think Kyle Pitts could be like the game breaker who comes through on like some Aaron Donald type stuff. I think he's kind of like a supercharged version of Kelsey. Like Kelsey, but like bigger, faster. And he's not even a horrible blocker. That's the greatest thing is not only is he not a horrible blocker, I think Detroit might be the best place for him to come. He's gonna learn from Hawkinson, a guy who knows what it's like to be a top pick as a tight end and the pressure that comes with that. And he's already dealt with controversy. Our head coach was a tight ends coach and a former NFL tight end who did very well with the tight ends in New Orleans, right? And our offensive coordinator repeatedly used tight ends a lot in his offense. Guys like Hunter Henry had great stats in that offense. He didn't play that great, but he had great stats in that offense. I just think a guy like Pitts, I think Detroit might be the best place for him to come.
Ultra Combo!
There you go.
They are who we thought they were.
Man, now that was an explanation and a half. When he gets motivated, he does some ultra combos and some combo breakers. We got a super chat here, $5 from David Webster. Thank you so much. You are absolutely an MVP. If you are Lance, why not go back to NCAA? They had one game. Can evaluate yourself for next year. It isn't as controversial. Money grab or fall fit and strategy. I believe it's because he knows he's going to be picked fairly high, and you're going to get money. And all that it could do is, look, you got to understand his first real year, he didn't throw any interceptions. He did outstanding. He did there's one game this last season. It didn't look that great. I think it's just going to hurt his draft stock if he wins.
Yeah, it's a good business decision for him to come out now. It's a very good business decision for him to come out now.
It's basically a business decision.
Yeah, go back and he has a chance to blow out his knee or something like that, man. You know what I mean? Just come out now, man, and just, get your feet wet in the NFL.
With our first overall pick next year, should we get, I hope to God we don't have the first overall pick this year.
We're going to get it.
Don't kill me.
When we go 0-17.
Oh,
the first team.
Don't even say that. Don't even say that, folks.
Yeah,
folks,
you're right.
Show
1-16.
The show is coming to an end. It's an hour and 15-minute show, and it is time for last words. Mark Orem from Orem's Forum, what do you got to say to the chat while we close this bad boy out?
Thanks a lot, guys, for the show. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Cy. Thank you, Tone. Thank you, everybody in the chat. It was fun talking Lions football. And if we have the number one pick in the draft next year, I want Thibodeau. If we get the number one pick in the draft, I want that defensive end, baby. That's who I want next year.
I want to cry if we got the first pick in the 2020.
I'll cry too, but that's who I want, man. That's who I want, though.
Antonio Hightower, what do you got to say to the folks so we close this bad boy out?
It was great coming here, you guys, today, especially talking about Kyle Pitts, Lions future number 7 pick, number 1 player in the NFL, Hall of Famer. But, it's just fun being here with you guys today.
While we got Kyle Pitts' brother, he just got off there. Cy, what do you got to say to the chat when we close this bad boy out?
Hey, I just want to say thanks for the opportunity again, Mike. Hanging with you guys has been awesome. Past couple of weeks, I think we have an awesome opportunity as Lions fans. Everybody in the chat, thank you for the salutes and your service as well. Mark, Tone, awesome time, man. Go Lions. I'm all in it. I'm not delusional, but I do see some brighter days ahead of us.
Brighter days is all we need, folks, while that phone is ringing. Next week, we're going to have John Kapler on. He's a Detroit Lions YouTuber. It's going to be a fun show. And then guess what? That's the last OTP until the NFL draft and until that the phone stops ringing. So that would be fantastic. Folks, I appreciate everyone showing out. You guys are awesome, taking time out of your day to listen to us talk Detroit Lions. 14 days away, folks. 14 days away from the Lions selecting the player of the future of this team. I'm going to leave you with the greatest words that's ever been spoken in man.
And again.
Adios.